Hi, welcome to Cookery 10. We're now in week 2 classification of meat. Objectives. 1. Classify different types of meat. 2. Present meat tenderizing techniques. 3. Value the importance of classifying and tendering meat in preparing a dish. Learning Task 1. Directions. Answer the following questions below. Guide question. 1. What are your considerations in buying meat? 2. Do we need to consider the type of meat we will be using in a specific menu? Give your example. Learning Task 2. Directions. Read the information below and discover the different classification and tenderizing techniques in cooking meat. Meat is classified according to its color. The color of the meat determines its flavor. The darker the color, the stronger the flavor of the meat. Classifications of meat: red meat, beef and lamb. White meat: pork, veal, chicken, turkey, and duck; game: rabbit, kangaroo, crocodile, deer, and wild birds. Meat is broadly classified into the following 3 types. 1. Bovines: ox, cow, buffalo, bison, etc.2, ovine, sheep, lamb, goat, deer, etc.3, swines, pigs, wild boar, etc. Categories of meat. 1. Lamb. As lamb comes from a fairly young animal, it is natural that it would not be marbled with fat, and hence it becomes very tricky for chefs to cook the lamb to utmost tenderness and juiciness. Two. Beef is bright red and is quite firm and elastic to touch. It has a very light and pleasing smell. The meat of the veal, on the other hand, is pinkish, and thus veal at times is classified into the categories of white meats. The marbling of the fat in the beef is very important, and this decides the quality of the overall meat. Selection criteria of beef. The quality of beef can be judged from the following points. A. The meat should be firm and bright red. B. It should be well marbled. It should have a good showing of flecks of white fat. C. It should have a good outside covering of fat, creamy white, and firm texture. D. The bones should be shiny and pinkish, with a blue tinge. There should be little or no gristle on steaks. E. Yellowish fat is always a sign that the animal is older or of a dairy breed. 3. Pork meat is eaten in various forms, including cooked, smoked, cured, salted, etc. It is one of the versatile meats that find a place in the canning industries as well. English breakfast is probably incomplete if bacon, ham, or sausages are not served with egg preparation. It is one of the meats that can be eaten in breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and even during afternoon teas as snacks or filled in sandwiches. Selection criteria of pork. The pork should be received with skin on. This should be free of hair, should feel moist, and elastic to touch. A. Always receive pork that has light pink flesh, which gives a fresh look. This means that the meat should appear moist but not damp or oily looking. B. Select meat where the cut bone appears red. The whiteness of the cut side of the bone indicates the old age of the animal, and hence the meat would be less tender. C. When receiving pork, always make slashes with the knife on the legs to see if there are any tapeworms. Meat tenderizing techniques. 1. Use of tools. Knifea makes cut across the muscle fiber. Cut should be long and very deep. 2. Meat tendering device. Three. Heat A. Meat heated at 71 degrees Celsius will make the collagen gelatinous, giving the meat a fork tender texture. B. Used on brisket, ribs, or other meats with collagen. C. Cooking meat slowly in heat will result in tender meat. Four. Use of marinade and fruit, acidic fruits, and substances increases the tenderness of the meat. A. Pureed fruit. Making fruits puree will help it mix into the marinade better, and let it stay in the marinade for some time. B. Dry aging. Dry aging the meat is a natural way to cause enzymatic tenderization. Enzymes in the meat will break muscle fiber and make the meat tender and tastier. A large cut of meat is recommended in dry aging as porterhouse steak and rib steak. Five. Age your meat on the rack. A. Meat must be aged on the rack. B. Not on a plate to dehydrate better. Six. Give time for the meat to become tender. A. 14 to 28 days is the average time in restaurants for their steaks to age. B. 20 days minimum. Seven. Trim the meat. Trim the meat down before cooking and eating. Learning task 3 directions. Give the classification of meat by writing R for red meat, W for white meat, and G for game meat. Alright, are you done? Learning task for directions. Reflect from the quotation inside the box and explain its essence. Write your answer on the space provided below. For the performance task, please read carefully the directions below. Thank you.